Okay, Desert Bearhawk fans, we're back in the shop for another video. For the last couple of weeks I've been deburring these attach angles. You can see here, basically just cleaning up the holes, cleaning up the edges, getting them ready to go. That's been my major process for the last, well, 2 weeks at least. There's a lot of them, 447 I think. I got some spares, so I don't think there's quite that many in the actual airplane. But after the attach angles were deburred, and along with other parts like this fuel tank rib right here, that you can see, after they've been deburred, the next step for them is to be given the Alodine process, which turns them gold like this. And some people have asked if I would do a video on how that process works. So I'm going to try to do a quick video. I know my videos are usually pretty long, but I'm going to try to do a quick one here because the process is relatively quick once you've got everything deburred. So you got to deburr everything first. That's the tough part of it. But once it's done, then it's just dip, rinse, dry. It's pretty easy. So here's my Alodining tanks. This tank here is the DX533 AlumaPrep tank, and it's an etcher. It's a aluminum etching compound, and you can see it's nearly full to the top. It's got 4 gallons of liquid in there. When you buy it, see, I think this is it. Yep, this is it right here. So here's the bottle it comes in. DX533, made by PPG, and it is a aluminum cleaner is what they call it. And you mix 1 gallon with 3 gallons of water, so it's 1 to 3 is the ratio. So if you want to do a half gallon, you can do that, whatever, but 1 to 3 is the ratio. So that's the acid bath. And then over here in this container is the DX503 Alodine. It is also comes in a gallon container like so. Let's see here, got it, and there it is, DX503. It is they call it an aluminum conditioner, but it's Alodine, and also made by PPG, and it does not get diluted at all. It's a straight shot deal. So if you look down in the bottom of my bucket here, I've got 1 gallon sitting down there in the bottom. You can see it. This stuff is bad stuff. You do not want to get it on you. You sure as heck don't want, your pooches, like my dog right here. That's Orson, the shop dog. You don't want them drinking it. You don't want it on your skin. It's not good. And you're going to see why in a second when I show you the same thing for the AlumaPrep. It's an acid etch, and it gets with the program, and I'll show you that here in a second. So what you want to have is your customary rubber gloves. These are some I picked up at Harbor Freight. They don't fit me very well. I picked up large. I guess I need extra large. I don't know. What I'm actually going to get is a couple of those mad scientist type gloves. They go all the way up to your elbow. These are just too difficult to work with. But for tonight, against my safety warning, I'm going to work without gloves. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to have these parts hanging on a piece of safety wire, and I won't actually be putting my hands in anything. But when I poured the chemicals out and when I mixed everything up, I had gloves on. So gloves, safety equipment. If you don't have eye protection, put that on too. So, and then finally the last barrel, or the last part of my 3-part system here, is just a 5-gallon bucket with some water in it, and you use that to rinse off the acid. Then you use it to rinse off the Alodine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Alodine this piece right here and show you how it cleans it up. You'll notice here that on this piece there's still some ink from where it came off. They print on the aluminum sheet what it is, what lot number it is, so on and so forth. So there's some of that on there. You could see my black Sharpie marks from where I marked it so I wouldn't flute it. So it'll clean all of that off, and it's going to turn it a real dull color. Right now it's super shiny. It's causing the camera to freak out, but you'll see that it's going to go dull. So I'm going to try to get the camera up where you guys can see what's going on here. And if you can't, I'll move the camera back to my hand, but I kind of need my hands to do what I'm going to do here. So I apologize for the bumps and the whatnot. I'm trying to be good about it, but You know, I'm not Steven Spielberg, so that's just the way that is. Now I need to find, oh, don't have any safety wire available, so I'll grab a piece here. I've been doing these one piece at a time. Obviously, with so many parts to do, I need to find a method where I can do the smaller parts, multiple smaller parts at the same time. But I haven't figured that out yet. That'll probably be tomorrow's mission. So, here we have our fuel bay rib. And I know some of you out there are probably screaming, "Oh, you're missing a hole, you're missing a hole." Yeah, I'm missing a hole. I'll locate that hole later once I have the steel. I want to make sure the hole goes in the right place. So for now, we're going to press on. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the camera back off because I want you to see what happens when I drop this piece in. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. So I'm going to hold the camera right up over. Hopefully we can see it. Let me give the foam here. Well, no, we'll just stick it in. But here we go. We're going to stick it in there. And I don't know if you can see. Let's see. You probably can't. I'm doing multiple things at one time here. Let me get that so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, I guess you can. You see the bubbles coming up? See it bubbling? It's just etching away at that stuff. So right now it's just cleaning the snot out of it. It'll clean off all that ink, everything. So we're going to let that sit there for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to hold the camera. I think I'll just hold the camera through this whole thing. Maybe that'll be better. And basically what's happening is it's prepping and etching the aluminum. It's actually removing some of the aluminum microscopically to provide a base for the Alodine, which is over here, to bite into the aluminum. So we're just going to etch this away, and what I do is I kind of move it around a little bit, but now if I pick it up you can see that the lettering is starting to get all jinky on it, and it won't be long before that stuff is just right on off of there. And I usually leave it in for 3 minutes because I want to make sure that I've got what I want. Got it all cleaned up, got it etched. Doesn't cost me anything. I'm just sitting here listening to Art Bell on the radio, so it's easy enough to let it go an extra minute or so. And they say you'll know pretty quick when this acid's not working anymore, and I can see why now, because it's bubbling really good, and I'm sure that when it becomes neutralized, that I won't see that same level of action. And the acid's really what worries me. I mean, the Alodine is supposed to be chromate something or another that's really bad. Aaron Brockovich had a big fit over it down there in California. But anyways, the acid's what worries me, because it'll burn your skin. And see, now you can see now most of that writing's gone, and I'm just gonna give her another dip or two here. So, and the bigger parts you're gonna have to do them one at a time like this, the ribs, but I'm hoping that with these smaller parts here I can do 6 of them at a time, because I got 400 plus of those things to do, and I don't want to be here for the rest of my life Alodine parts. So here we go. Let's see. I think we're looking pretty good. Most of my Sharpie marks are gone. Most of the ink from the factory's gone off the part. Give it just another second or so in here, and we'll call it pretty good. We're going to rate it PG here in a second. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to conserve material, so I'm going to let this drip off in here. It's got a little bubble. The little little lightning hole's got a film on it like a bubble, like a bubble blower. For you to blow in it, probably make a acid bubble. That's a scary thought. Anyways, drip it off here, get as much off as I can, and then right over here into the water tank, and just slush it around in there. Just get most of that acid off. Sorry for the jinky camera work, but I'm all by myself here. And then what I'll do is I'll let it, they say you're supposed to let the water sheet off. If it looks like it sheets off, then you're good, kind of like when you're washing a car. I haven't done enough of this to know what's right and what's not right, but that sounds right to me, so okay, we'll do it. And then from there, right into the Alodine bath and just let it sink right in there, and I'm going to let the handle go, and it's down in there, and there you have it. So about 2 or 3 minutes in there, and it's going to turn a gold color. Then we just pull it back out, rinse it off, and hang it up to dry. And by hang it up to dry, I mean like those that are now currently hanging up to dry. So we'll let this go for another couple of minutes here, and that'll be the Alodine process. Now, when it comes to the nose ribs are going to fit in this 5-gallon bucket. It's deep enough. So I'll be able to do each nose rib in there, all of the nose ribs, all of the pocket ribs, all of the aileron, flap ribs, the 4 back ribs, all of that stuff's going to fit in there. The center ribs, however, are not going to fit in there. So I'm going to need to come up with a large flat tray, like maybe some guys online talked about using a Christmas wrapper storage box, something like that. That's 6 inches deep and 30 inches long and 18 inches or so wide. And then I'll just pour this prep into there and press on. Same thing with the Alodine. Actually with the Alodine, I'm not going to be able to do the nose ribs in the 5-gallon bucket either. Even if I was to buy 2 more gallons of Alodine, I don't think I would be deep enough to get them. And it's going to be an experiment. And I don't think doing half and half, flipping them over, I don't think that's a good idea at all. So I still have some challenges to figure out, but with the bazillion little small parts I got, I can press on right now, rock on, and do this stuff and just get these things behind me so we could start actually building a wing, because right now we don't have major visual progress and we want some. So let's have a look. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, I'm going to pull it up out of there. As you can see, it's gold. I'll let it sit a little bit longer. Again, you can see I'm being real careful not to splash this stuff around. And there you go, it's gold. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to kind of shake it off here. Again, trying to conserve as much of this material as I can. And then I'm going to transfer it right over to the water bucket. Kind of give it a good little rinse, and then just kind of shake it off and hang it up. So that'll be that. So that's the Alodine process. It's pretty straightforward. It's not very difficult, and it's supposed to provide excellent corrosion protection. I am going to prime on top of this, but this is step 1. So there you have it. Again, I'm using DX533 Aluma Prep by PPG. I paid $40 for a gallon of it. You mix it with 3 gallons of water, renders you 4 gallons of acid, as you can see. And I'm using DX503 Alodine solution. I paid $40 for it for a gallon as well. And it is non-diluted, so 1 gallon is what you get. And you just keep using it until your parts don't turn gold anymore. And a couple of, 3 5-gallon buckets, 1 of which I had and 2 of which I bought, and you got yourself an Alodine tank set up for every one of your small parts for sure, and some of the larger parts too if you get creative. So there you have it. Hope you liked it, and I hope you found it useful and informative. And as always, you guys can leave comments, and if you want to see my build in webpage format, I'm on Facebook /Desert Bearhawk. So we'll look for you there. And until next time, see you in the shop.